It's January 9th, 2013, and as of 3 years ago, I have been completely smoke-free. If any of you that are watching this have tried to quit smoking, it is so hard. It's so freaking hard. There's really no easy way about it. I've had good success, and I wanted to share my story with you to hopefully maybe give other people out there, you know, a chance to realize they can do this. That it's never too late to try to quit. The more times you do try, the better success that you will have. A little background on me: I smoked for 10 years and I quit 3 years ago. I tried to quit several times in the past and had no luck. It was always usually when I would get sick or something, and I would think, okay, this is a great time to quit smoking. The cigarettes taste like crap, and you know, you get over your sickness and then you go back and you start smoking again. What really kind of put things into perspective for me was 3 years ago, my mom, who was a smoker for about 20 years, and she had quit for, I believe, about 17 years. On a fluke chest x-ray, the doctors caught a lump in her lung. And long story short, the diagnosis was lung cancer. So she was very lucky that it was caught in stage 1 and only had to have part of her lung removed. So checked her out, and because it hadn't spread, she didn't have to have radiation or chemotherapy. So she was very, very lucky. And that was a big source of inspiration to me to make the decision to quit. It's not that easy. It really isn't. I remember still smoking after I got that phone call from her and was told that it was cancer. And you know, what do? You're stressed out, you're a smoker, what do? You go and you have a cigarette. So that's what I did. And I remember standing there smoking that cigarette and looking at it and thinking, what the hell am I doing? Like, my mom just called me, she's got cancer, and here I am doing this to myself. It just made no sense whatsoever. So what I really thought about was, what was my big trigger with smoking? You know, everyone kind of has a reason why they smoke, and so for me it was, I figured out I smoked because I was stressed. Or it was always my go-to because I was stressed. And I thought about that pretty long and hard, you know, because I knew that stress was my trigger, and I knew I had to find something to combat that, something that I could have as an outlet for stress. And that I realized, you know, well, hello, exercise. You know, you always hear people say, oh, exercise, it's an endorphin high, and you know, it's such a good outlet for stress and anger, problems in your life. And so I thought, you know, I already was kind of getting back into fitness, and I started thinking, you know, well, that's it. Exercise, fitness, you know, that's my outlet. It's the polar opposite of smoking. Over the next 3 years is through everything I had into fitness and into eating healthy, learning about nutrition, learning about fitness, and really transformed my life completely. That whole kicker was like the thing that was holding me back. You know, a lot of people think, okay, well, I don't want to quit smoking because I'm afraid I'm going to gain weight, or I'm afraid that I can't handle this stress, or I won't be able to hang out with my friends that still smoke. I mean, there's probably hundreds of reasons, and everybody has their own. So I had to figure out what my big, like, ultimate kicker was with smoking. I probably would have never thought about making a video like this up until the first year that I had quit, even the first 6 months that I had quit, because I had so many people coming up to me that just out of the blue were telling me that I had impacted their life somehow, or that I had influenced them or motivated them in a positive way to make a change in their life. Not necessarily smoking, but could have been, you know, stop drinking pop or stop eating fast food so much. Anyways, the first tip that I would give you is figure out what your trigger is. That is like the ultimate right there. If you figure that out and you figure out, okay, this, like for instance for me it was stress. Okay, then what the heck can I do to combat that? Well, stress, there's a lot of different things, but for me, exercise worked, and I love it. So you need to find out what your trigger is first and foremost. Number 2 is change up your routine. As a smoker, I'm sure you know, or anybody that has smoked in the past, there's certain times of the day that you would smoke, or around certain people, or you're doing certain things, you know, for instance, after a meal, for most people, that's the time to smoke. So for me, I started like changing all of that up, and like, okay, in the morning I'd get up, the first thing I would go do is have a cigarette. Okay, so I had to change up that routine like as soon as I got up. So what I did was I would actually go and I would make coffee, and I would sit there and just drink coffee, and I wouldn't go in the room where I would normally go smoke, out that back door. I didn't smoke in my house, thank God. But number 3 is, this is what I recommend, and from the reading that I have done on quitting smoking and what nicotine does to your body. You only use a smoking cessation if you have to, okay? And I recommend only for 21 days. I did use one. It was called the Nicotrol inhaler, and you have to have a prescription to get it, and it's just like a little plastic thing that you put these little nicotine capsules in, and it's not like an electronic cigarette, which I'm sure some of you have seen those. It's just pure nicotine. And honestly, it gave me a sore throat. It kind of satisfied that panic, that need to, you know, the hand and mouth thing. So it worked for me, and I only used it for about 3 weeks. I don't recommend any longer, just because you're quitting smoking. You're done putting nicotine in your body, so why would I want to take something else that's still putting nicotine in my body, maybe at a lower dosage, but nonetheless you're still treating your body to that nicotine. So you're not actually like learning how to not be dependent on it. And that's my whole point with that, okay? Number 4 is, this is a big one. Tell people, tell others what you're doing. This will hold you more accountable to your goals, and you'll get that much more support to not fail. You know, you have all these people rooting for you if you tell them what you're doing. I don't know anybody that says, why are you quitting smoking? Why would you want to do that? No, people are going to be like, that's so freaking cool, I'm so proud of you. And number 5 is, and I have a kind of a funny story for this. Number 5 is celebrate your small victories. And my example of this is, I told my husband, I said, I need you to just kind of be there to tell me no for the first week or so. Just tell me no. And I said, I'm going to call you at like random times throughout the day if I'm really feeling I need to go have a cigarette. And I didn't have any. I knew I'd have to go buy them. I told him, I'm going to call you. And you're going to tell me no. You don't need it. Don't do it. Whatever. Just talk me out of it. And sure enough, I think it was on day 3 or 4 I had quit. And I was driving home from work, and I felt that feeling like I gotta have a cigarette now. Like, it was a stressful day, of course, and I knew that the gas station that I would stop at was coming up, so I called my husband up on the phone, and I'm like, honey, I am going to stop. I swear to God, I'm going to stop. I'm going to get a pack of cigarettes. And he said, no, you're not. No, you're not. And he just, like, preoccupied my mind for that couple minutes, you know, as I was driving by, to where next thing I know, I'm, like, half a mile down the road past the gas station, and I didn't stop. And so when I did that, I kind of thought to myself, you know, I can do this. There's going to be those days, there's going to be those moments, but I can do this. I just did that. Like, normally I would have totally caved in and stopped, but I didn't. Okay, so that's number 5. Celebrate your small victories. Number 6 is, I want you to tell yourself this every single day. This was my mantra when I quit smoking, and it still is to this day, and I just love the saying, and it really holds such a deeper meaning to it. Tell yourself every day that you have absolutely nothing to lose, but only everything to gain. And think about that. What are you missing out on by quitting? What are you feeling that you're going to be lacking in your life? Okay. What are you going to be gaining? Well, when I thought about that, I thought, I'm not really going to miss out on anything. Because honestly, you know, I thought, well, maybe I won't be able to hang out with my friends as much because some of them smoke, but I'm not friends with them because they smoke. I'm friends with them because of who they are. And as far as anything I have to gain, holy crap, everything. Health, longer life, food tastes awesome now, can run and not be out of breath. I don't get sick hardly at all anymore. I haven't gotten sick in almost 2.5 years. So the list of everything to gain just goes on and on and on, and everything to lose is really, there's nothing on that list. So I really recommend you definitely write that down. Put it somewhere, put it on a mirror, put it on your fridge. You know, put it somewhere where you're going to see it every day and be constantly reminded how true that statement is. Alright, and then number 7 is all that money that you would have been spending on cigarettes, set a goal for yourself. You know, set it for 3 months, 6 months from now, and then take all that money that you saved from not buying cigarettes and use it to buy yourself something great. You know, or plan a trip. Use it for a really cool trip somewhere. Then you'll actually see how much money you were, you know, dropping down the drain pretty much, and actually see, hey, I can do much cooler things with the same amount of money that I was using to buy these stupid things that were killing me, that are hurting my body, my health, everything else. They stink, they're gross. And instead I can take a really cool trip. Or hey, I can buy that really sweet purse that I saw at the mall. Or hey, I can get those really cool shoes that I wanted. Or whatever. Those 7 things are pretty much the big things that helped me succeed in quitting smoking. I hope that it works for some of you out there. If you need the accountability to quit and you're ready and you want to tell somebody, shoot me a message on Facebook. I'm more than happy to be that person to hold you accountable. I'm at facebook.com/Laura Marcel Fitness, and you can also find me on Twitter at Laura B. Marcel or Instagram at Laura Marcel. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for letting me tell my story. I hope it inspires more people out there to make a change in their life and realize that it's never too late to do that. So thanks again.